Today, today's a very sad day. As you can see, the song I play on every single show is the theme from Shaft. Shaft starred Richard Roundtree. Richard Roundtree, Shaft. I mean, that's enough said right there. Passed away today. Grew up in New Jersey. I didn't know he grew up in New Jersey. And every time, shut your mouth. Every time I heard that song, he had breast cancer for 20 years at least, 5 decades in uh, film career, 5 decades. He was in the Shaft remakes. He's in a lot of stuff. There's a lot of movies I saw him in. I can't even remember half the stuff he was in. And he just exuded cool, just smooth. And I got this picture, Shaft and after. There was a bunch of Shaft movies, but I mean, the first one's the one I really watched. And 81 years old. I was like, they're all, you get older, and everybody you remember growing up is passing away, and it's a cycle of life, man. But Richard Roundtree, rest in peace. Every time I play this song, I think of Isaac Hayes. Now I'm going to think of you even more. And Gumbo Chef said he was going to say something to me today. I saw that Stockton's playing on the road at Rowan today. I think that's where I saw they're playing. They got a soccer game today, so Thomas kicked some ass. And how about this? Philly is 2 games at home to close it out, like the Astros, and they couldn't get it done. Zach Wheeler came in to do a relief appearance, and we have the 84-78 Diamondbacks in the goddamn World Series. The Diamondbacks, Rangers. Bochy's going to go for his fourth. He's taken 2 teams. Thank you, Kramer, for RK for that one. Yes, he's taken 2 teams to the World Series, and I would say they are the favorites right now to win it. But I think I saw the Diamondbacks. I always forget. So minus means that they're favorites. I think the Diamondbacks are favored in the World Series. Max Scherzer is dealing with a cut in his finger now, but the shoulder's fine. He's always whining about some shit. And Sewell yesterday closed it out for Arizona. Wasn't he? He's a former Met. I remember him in the Mets, and I don't remember being that. Now he's the star closer for the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks are playing for a goddamn World Series. That's kind of crazy, right? I mean, that's loco. I mean, it just blows my mind. Yeah. So listen to this fun fact: Texas 5 in the number 5 seed in the ALCS, and Arizona 6 in the ALCS are the lowest combination of seeds to meet in the World Series. The second time in history that 2 wildcard teams have reached the Fall Classic in the same postseason. 2014 Giants Royals. Giants won, then the Royals won the next year. Rangers went 60 wins, 102 losses in 2021. Arizona went 52 and 110, lost 110 in 2021. 5th and 6th teams in MLB history to reach the World Series within 2 years, losing 100 games. The 1914 Braves, 67 Red Sox who lost, 69 Mets who won, 2008 Rays who lost, and the first pair of teams to win the World Series while doing so. There will also be just the 3rd World Series in MLB history featuring 2 wildcard teams. 2002 and 2000. That features 2 wild. Now Morning Blitz is saying 2002, and they're saying 2014. So 2002 World Series was 2 wild cards. Morning Blitz, are you messing with my mind? 2002 World Series. All right, was the American League champion Anaheim versus the Giants, and Anaheim was not the number 1. Anaheim beat in the ALCS, beat Minnesota, and San Francisco beat St. Louis Cardinals. This was the first World Series since the 1995 inception of the wild card in MLB, and the last until 2014, in which both wild card teams would 5. So they screwed up. It was 2002 and 2014. Thank you very much. There's something I follow, and yeah, one of the sites, and they always give me shitty shit. They give me shitty material. Yes. Thank you, Josh. Today is episode 1400. 1400 podcasts. But there's one, the sports letter. The sports letter always gives me shitty material. And I respond to them all the time. I go, dude, you put in this newsletter and you put out unfactual material all the fucking time. And I got that from Sports Letter. Morning Blitz always gives me good shit. And the Sports Letter gives me always shit. So thank you, Morning Blitz, for being great. And the Sports Letter, you fucking suck. You really suck. Bullshit. Yeah. For first time in 22 years, remember that? 9/11. That fucking Diamondbacks team beat the Yankees. I freaking hate. I am not a Diamondbacks fan. I really wanted Philly to win. And Jay said, I couldn't root for Philly. I'm like, dude, of course I'm rooting for Philly. I like the grit. He said, the fans suck. I would love that team. I would love to root for that team. I don't know how they lose 2 in a row at the end at home, but vamos serpientes, vamos los Suns. Oh, I love drinking salty East Coast tears. Who's Champy? Oh, all right, Champy. Who's Champy? I want to know who Champy is. Vamos serpientes, vamos los Suns. Champy, keep talking, man. I don't know. You're a little salty right there. I don't know. Champy looks like he's all excited talking about I love drinking salty East Coast. All right, dude. I mean, your team was 84 and 78 this year. It's not like you were drinking tears. And, I mean, you can root for them, but, now you think your Suns are going to be another team that's going to get it done this year? I don't think so. That team's going to crumble and Katie's going to get hurt. But there was a picture of them all working out after the game, lifting the weights. But we need to see that the Suns are putting the work in. I need to see that stuff. It's very important for me to see that stuff. And Corbin Carroll came in. He'd been in a slump during the NLCS. He went 3 for 4 with two RBIs, 2 runs scored, a stolen base. And yet, I mean, crazy. First pennant since 2001. Yeah, I mean, they haven't done shit since then. But now all the bandwagon fans are rooting for the team. Second in franchise history. Brandon fought 4 innings pitched. Suarez went 4.2, gave up 3 runs. Trey Turner and Nick Castellanos went a combined 0 for 12. I guess in the if they went 0-4, 0-4, I don't understand that stat. If they both went 0-4, it can't be when a combined 0 for 12. Second home loss in 2 nights after starting 6-0 at home. And Texas will have home field advantage. They have the better record. Starts Friday night and Saturday at Globe Life Field, which is a terrible name. Bumbles is here. Globe Life Field. What a shitty name for a stadium. Globe Life Field. Just like, do we throw this shit together? World Series is set. Them Rangers versus them Snakes. Tommy Pham, Max Scherzer, Travis Jankowski. Tommy Pham for the Diamondbacks. Then you have Max Scherzer, Travis Jankowski, and the Rangers. Paul Sewell for closing out Game 7 for the Diamondbacks. All former Mets who are now getting it done. Die hard here, always have been. Really? You're a die hard. I've always been here for Arizona. Okay, really? Since 2001. David Benavidez knocked out Demetrius Andrade and will be the next Arizona East Coast. Wow, you're really reaching now. So now you're reaching for boxers. He's gonna knock out David Benavidez. That's what you're going with? You're going with a boxing? You're trying to compare that beating up the next Arizona East Coast beatdown? Dude, did you grow up in Arizona? Champy, answer this for me. Did you grow up in Arizona? Die hard. Always been here for Arizona. Are you from Arizona? Do you live in Arizona? How long have you lived in Arizona? Tell me you probably live in Topeka, Kansas. You ask him about Todd Pratt. Todd Pratt. Oh, man. I like the feisty Champy. Yeah, Champy. Champy's a little feisty. Champy's ready to go. Wow, dude. Champy, I love you. You come on anytime you want. Wow, he's awesome. And Brent Storm was the former Astros. What was he, hitting bench coach? He's now the pitching coach for the Diamondbacks. Oh, and then did you see after the game, the D-backs, they took the D-backs pole and put it into the ground? Okay, good. You subscribe? Okay, good. You subscribe because good. You come on anytime you want, Champy. But did you grow? That's what I want to know. Did you grow up in Arizona? What's with so are you a Cardinals fan? Suns, Cardinals, yeah. And I guess the D-backs, right? And what about, are you an Arizona or Arizona State fan? Because that's what I want to know, because I have been to an Arizona State football game. All right. Yeah, and subscribe to my YouTube page. I did. You grew up here. Oh, and the Coyotes. You're a Yotes fan too. All right, dude, man. Hey, you know what? All right. I mean, you got to be excited about it. Oh, you're a Wildcats fan too. Yeah, your basketball team chokes every goddamn year in the NCAA tournament. So Champy there, that's every year. You got to be careful with the choke sign. But yeah, the choke sign, huh? All right, hey, bring it. You want to, Champy, anything you want to talk about today, you bring it. You tell it. You ask some questions. You want to bring it. Yeah, I'm not rooted against Benavidez. I'm okay with him beating Andrade on November 25th. And isn't Benavidez' brother also fighting on the same card? If I'm correct, Champy, I think I'm correct about that. I think they're both fighting on the same card. Yeah, how about this too? Silent Stadium, yeah, with the big pennant, that was funny. And what did I see? Marte set MLB record with 16-game hitting streak to start his postseason career. 19 in the postseason. That's my trivia question for today. Yeah, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, his brother is funny. Good going. Yeah, let's talk Pelican basketball. Oh my God, Bumbles, you and fucking Zion Williamson. Enough with Zion Williamson. What I mean, maybe you should adopt him. He can become your son. He can hang out in your apartment. I don't think you make enough money to feed him. Yeah, yeah, Pelicans basketball. Yeah, bandwagon. Now he's on the Pelicans bandwagon. So fewest regular season wins by a World Series team in 162 game season. The Mets in 73 won 82. Went to the World Series against the A's. Then the Cardinals 83, Diamondbacks 84, Twins won, I remember, in 87, and the Indians lost in 97 to the Marlins and the Diamondbacks this year. Cardinals in 2006 won, right? Didn't the Cardinals in 2000? Didn't they goddamn win the World Series? I was so pissed off. And that's another team I never liked, the Cardinals. Yeah, the 2006 Cardinals won the World Series. Yeah, motherfucker. I remember they won that goddamn World Series. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot today. With Tony La Russa. They beat the Tigers in 5 games. Fuck them. Fuck that team. Goddamn, never liked the Cardinals. Yeah, Zach Wheeler had his first relief appearance in 2010. Went 1 2/3 base and ball strikeouts, 1.95 ERA. He got it done. Yes, they did beat the Mets with Beltran with the bat on his shoulders. Right? That was Game 7. Right? Yeah, that's how I remember Beltran, bat on his shoulders. There, Bumbles, not doing jack shit. That's what I remember about Mister Beltran choking it up right there. Another choke job. And team that scored first 83 and 47 all time and winner take all postseason baseball games. Nice going, huh? That's some good stuff. Yeah, he got me riled up, Josh. Him and Bumbles. Bumbles talk about Pelican basketball. No, Champy got me, but Bumbles always just like pushing buttons. Likes pushing those buttons. Rematch of the dads. 37-year-old Ivan Longoria. Yeah, let's stop everything, everybody. Mr. Council is going to interview with the Mets. This is their savior. Council's going to manage the Mets, and everything's going to change. It's all changing now because Council's going to come and manage the Mets. They're going to interview him, and they'll find a way to fuck that up, and it's not going to happen. Your Mets. You're going to Council. Council's going to get the job done. Please. Yeah, and you got Longoria going against 39-year-old Max Scherzer. Council's a genius. A genius in what? I want to know what the genius, what his genius is. Come on. You can't just write one word. I need to know why he's a genius. What has he done? I'll give you an interesting fact. I saw this fact about the Brewers. What did I see? Every team. This is interesting. Let me see. Okay. This is from Adam McElvey. Listen to this one. You want Boone? Yeah. Okay, wise ass. Every team that has bounced the Brewers in the postseason is playing the World Series. They lost to the Yankees. Okay, wait. This sucks. I got to find this. This was a really good tweet, and now it didn't. Low payroll. I want Boone. Low payroll wins. What did he win? He made playoffs. What are you talking about that wins? What did they win, dude? Please tell me what they won. I really want to know, what did they win? What did they win? They made the playoffs, so that's winning to you. So now that's acceptable. That's acceptable for you. Is that really? I mean, is that the case? So every team that has bounced the Brewers in the postseason has played the World Series. 81, Yankees lost World Series. Every team that's bounced the Brewers. 82, they lost to the Cardinals in the World Series. 2008, Phillies won World Series. 2011, Cardinals won World Series. 2018, Dodgers lost World Series. 2019, Nationals won World Series. 2020, Dodgers won that bullshit 60-game season. 2021, Braves won World Series. And this year, D-backs, who they lost to, are in the World Series. I mean, is that acceptable? So the Brewers, Craig, let's look up Council's. Let's look up, because you know what, that's what the show's about. It's about going off. It's about, can I say that, going off the reservation? Council. Yeah, Craig Council. Record. MLB record MLB. Let's look this up because I really want to. I want to know what this is. Okay, he 9 seasons as manager, 707 and 625, 531 winning percentage, 3 NL Central Division titles, 5 postseason appearances. They made the NLCS in 2018. Yeah, finished second manager of the year. Okay, so he's been okay. Coming off a year they went 92 and 70. He's had a winning record in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 7 seasons. He's made the playoffs. His 7 and 12 in the postseason. Yeah. Okay. I mean, is that good enough for you, dude? A 531 winning percentage? Is that acceptable? You're okay with that? If you're okay with that, Bumbles, I'm okay with it. But I think that's kind of I think that's okay. It's just okay. Yeah. And Jeff Bannister is the bench coach for the Diamondbacks. He was the Rangers manager 2015, 2018, led the team to the ALDS in 2015 and 16. Also, the D-backs were the team that drafted Scherzer, who pitched 2 seasons in Phoenix before being traded to the Tigers before the 2010 season. And Ian Kennedy, who pitched 5 years over 2 stints with Arizona. But there's no guarantee that he'll even be on the World Series roster, having just pitched 16 in the third innings with a 7.16 ERA for the Rangers. The Phils went 1 for 10. It's with runners in scoring position, 1 for 10. They won 10-0 game 2, 5 or 7 with running in scoring position. In the other 6 games, 6 for 37 and a 162 batting average. They had 24 home runs in 13 games this postseason, and including 11 in this series, but hit just 1 home run in the final 2 games. See? Everything. That's what I said. They 10 runs 1 game, and they can't do shit all the other games. And it comes back and bites you in the ass. And Arizona relievers didn't allow a run either of the last 2 games of the series. Manager Tony Lavulo. Hey, and Aaron has joined us. Aaron's in the house. All right. And the relievers got it done. Paul Sewell. Yeah, I mean, good God. I talk about Max Scherzer now with a finger, a new ailment. They said callus on his right thumb split open during his last start in Washington, resulting in a raw skin that caused him pain on most of his pitches today. But he still pitched 6 shutout innings. I mean, he's pitching again. I guess I'll have to pitch through the pain. And I thought this was great from Larry Stone. This will be the first World Series in Arlington, Texas since 2020 when the Dodgers met the Rays. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah. Oh, and I love my buddy, RK Kramer. He said, worst World Series matchup I can remember in a long time. The most interesting storylines are that the cheater Astros are not in it, thank God, which a lot of people agree with. And Bochy is in it for the with his third team. So San Diego, San Francisco, and now Texas. I said about the fewest regular season wins, and he goes, fucking Diamondbacks, ugly ass uniforms too. I said a lot of bandwagon fans. No offense, Champy. You sound like a real fan. So, and Josh is saying hi to Aaron, so that's nice. And I said bandwagon fans, yeah. I said they have no. He said they have no fan base. It's like the Rays, total joke. He said Rays to Montreal, Diamondbacks to Vegas, cause who gives a shit? And keep the A's in Oakland where they belong under new ownership. And I just said gold. It's gold, Kramer. Gold, liquid gold. And I was like, all right, I don't disagree with that stuff. Now, Champy is a real fan, and they have been drawing in the postseason, and they've been loud. I mean, they do. I mean, I do like that young kid. I like Carroll. I think Carroll's the real deal, and he's going to be a good player for a long time. And maybe, they go on a run now. I mean, I hear what he's saying. There's too many teams. I think the wild card should be 1 game. It shouldn't be best of 3. It's 1 game, and bam, you're playing against the top seed the next day. This best of 3 is bullshit. I think it should be 1 game, wild card. You barely got in, and you shouldn't be rewarded by having 2 out of 3 and then giving the best teams all these days off. I mean, the best team should be able to deal with a couple days off, but I feel like it should be 1 game, bam, that's all it is. You play the whole season, 1 game, and you move on, and then you go on against the higher seed, and that's what they do. But you don't need a best of 3, but it's all about TV money. But, I mean, I think always there's too many teams in there's too many teams in the playoffs. That's always the case. But it's about TV money. That's what it's always been about. And Bumble said, so happy the Phillies choked, and this playoff system is so bad. Arizona barely finished over 500. Well, hey, the Mets, your Mets in 73 made the World Series with a shitty record. So what do you have to say about that? I mean, it happens, dude. I disagree. They should not have been in the playoffs. Why play 162 games if a team like that gets in? Listen, the Bucks hosted a playoff game. What were they, 8-9? It's bullshit. Seattle hosted a playoff game and they won. They beat the Seahawks, I remember, a couple years ago. Yeah, I don't like it, but I don't think they should get a home playoff game. But it happens sometimes that you have shitty teams in the playoffs. There's a lot of parity now. There's not any super teams, and that's what happens. That's the way cookie crumbles, man. That's how it goes sometimes. Yeah. All right. So they were interviewing counsel, and they would have fired, per the Post, they would have fired Billy Epler if he didn't resign amid MLB investigation. And this is from Brandon Wiley. He said, Craig Kimball said, I really can't describe this disappointment I have in myself. Yeah, you suck. Yes, you guys choked. You can't have 2 games at home and blow it like the Astros. You can't blow those games. And you did. You did. You didn't get it done. And Sean Casey is out. He wasn't offered a new contract, but he's divorced and, 50-50 with his kids. So he's not going to be back as the hitting coach. And, when I talked to Fitzy about that, he says that a lot of these guys have their own guys and they work on stuff, but is the hitting coach really making a lot of difference? I mean, these guys are always tinkering. I read Carroll said he was tinkering with his bat placement, hand placement on his bat, even at the end, because, he was even at the end willing to tinker with stuff because, he was slumping a little bit. You said, hit the ball, whatever I'm going to do. I got to get on base, if I get on base and kind of put the ball in play, anything's possible. So I don't know. Sean Casey's out. Yankees still suck. You still got Boone. You still got your GM. And it's just never going to end. And the Yankees aren't going to win another championship for another 20 years. Not going to happen. And Arizona's playing for a championship. And the Yankees are home, twiddling their thumbs. I kept it very G-rated there because I'm not going to get crazy. And Chris Russo needs to shut the fuck up. He said if Arizona beat Philly, he was going to retire from, radio, TV, or radio. I'm like, why do you say dumb shit? Why do these guys say the dumbest shit in the world? Chris Russo, just shut the fuck up. And he was back on TV today. I'm like, really, dude? Is this something we need? Why do you say dumb fucking shit? Why would people would kill for your job, and to make a stupid comment like that? Oh, I'm going to quit my job, man, because if they win, I'm going to quit. So quit. Be gone. You know what? You had a great run. You, Mike and the Mad Dog was great. But, now I just feel like you're like blowing hot air. I'm just like, it annoys me that people say shit like that. It really does. I feel like it's disrespectful to the industry for people who would kill for that job to say something stupid like that. I'm going to quit, dude. Just annoying. And the Red Sox are bringing from the Cubs former pitcher, what's his name? Craig Breslow, who played 12 years in the majors, 2 stints with the Red Sox. He was a contributor to the 2013 World Series title. And then he retired, and he was in the front office of the Cubs. He was in a prominent position behind President Jed Hoyer and GM Carter Hawkins. He's Cubs assistant GM and director of pitching duties that he has held since 2020. So now he is going to be so what is his job title? Head of Boston's baseball operations. Okay, good luck with that. And Bob Melvin today was introduced as manager of the Giants, which I talked about with Jason. And San Diego, he brought up to me that Dennis Lynn of The Athletic says that 2 candidates is Mike Schilt and Ryan Flaherty. So Schilt is the Padres' senior advisor to player development in major leaguers and major leagues. At 55, he's manager of the Cardinals from 2018 to 2021 with a .559 winning percentage, 1 division title before getting fired amid back-to-back playoff exits and a wild card round. And Flaherty is a bench coach for the Padres this season. He was an advanced scout and development coach before the 2020. He played 8 seasons in the major league as an infielder from 2012 to 2019. So, yeah, so Mets are going after somebody with a little more polish to him, but, we'll see if it's Schilt or Flaherty for the job. I saw the odds for NBA. Boston, Milwaukee, Denver, Phoenix, Lakers, Golden State, Philly, Clippers, Mavs, Heat, Cavs, Grizz, Pelicans, Knicks, plus 5,000. So are the Kings. And Randall, in the Embiid trade rumors, he said, we've seen in every one, we've been in every one since I've been here, good or bad. It's always a rumor. It's opening night tonight. So they said back in 2021, Knicks won double OT, 138-134. Maybe we'll have another one of those games tonight. That'd be kind of cool, right? And Vince Carter is joining Yes Network for this season, but I'd like to see a good game like that. Well, I watched a lot of basketball tonight. Listen, I was watching Liberty against Western Kentucky. Liberty's goddamn, what are they, 8-0? I was watching Liberty football last night. That's what I was watching. Nuggets 119-107 over the Lakers. Summer of trash talk. Jokic, 29, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. Jamal Murray, 21.6 assists. LeBron, limited minutes, but 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, but only 1 field goal attempt. And Davis, 17 points, 6 of 17 on the field goals, 8 rebounds, and nothing in the second half. 0 for 6 in the second half. Jokic with an NBA record 10 triple-doubles last postseason, third reigning Finals MVP to open the season with a triple-double, joining LeBron in 2016 and Magic in 1982. Joker said it was amazing to see how many lives we impact just playing basketball and how many people are just supporting us. It's an amazing sensation. They got the rings, looked like nice rings last night. And tonight, KCP said tonight was about us and our moment and also taking care of business, which is exactly what they did. They took care of business. Yeah. Jokic triple-double. Yeah. And Stephen A. Smith said, atrocious, very concerning. Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw the reason why the Lakers aren't going to win no championship this year. 0 for 6 in the second half. And do you see Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders? I thought Shedeur Sanders, courtside seats. The guy was telling me today at the bank, we had to go to the bank, my mom and I, do some bank stuff, some banking. I'm hanging out in Jersey with my ma. And he said that he gave the primetime gave the players over a week. And they had to be back Saturday by midnight. And if they weren't there by midnight, he goes, your lockers were cleared out. I said, that's a way to get everybody's attention, huh? That's a big way to get everybody's attention. Yeah, so Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter were courtside, and LeBron gave him some love. I mean, he's living his best life. Those two guys are having a good time. Good time at college. NAL is great. Yeah, and Davis, second half, 0 for 6, 18 second half minutes. LeBron only played 29 minutes, but when he was off the court, they said they're going to have to, that will be the norm. They'll control his minutes. But they were minus 19 in LeBron's 19 minutes on the bench. And good thing they don't play the Lakers every night. But it's going to be a rough season for them. I don't think they're going to be that good. I think they'll be okay, but not that great. And LeBron's now 3-3 all-time regular season and playoffs when attempting only 1 free throw and not recording at least 1 free throw make. So he did, 1 free throw attempt and did not make it. LeBron James now has the most losses in a team season opener in league history, 14. Well, he's been playing forever, so that makes sense. Phoenix beat the Warriors 108-104. Durant had 18 points, 11 rebounds, for 7 for 22. And I love video tributes from Golden State. Love that stuff. I don't know why now. Yeah. And Booker had 32 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. Curry had 27 points, but 4 for 14 from 3. Chris Paul had 14 points, 4 for 15, but 9 assists. Curry and Klay Thompson, 15 points, 3 for 11, 3 on 3-pointers, 7 rebounds. Went 7 for 25 beyond the arc. Wow, not good, right? And Bradley Beal did not play, and Draymond Green was out. So, and he was dealing with Curry was dealing with foul trouble too. But what did I see? Oh, Devin Booker, had a good game. Warriors were 10 for 43 from deep. And the Warriors were +5 in Chris Paul's 34-minute debut. And Iron Eagle said, we are now joined by Draymond Green, who would much rather be playing tonight. What do you think of that opening quarter from your squad? And there were crickets from Draymond. I don't know. He wasn't talking. And Stan Van Gundy said, well, he didn't think a lot of his squad in that first quarter. I thought that was funny. So we got a full house today. Hawks and Hornets. Brandon Miller with LaMelo Ball. We're going to see how that goes. And Trae Young and Quinn Snyder gives us training camp and preseason. Wizards and Pacers. Athletic thinks that's a sleeper for them. Indiana. And Jordan Poole is going to go for 50 in his Wizards debut. Celtics and Knicks. Yeah, Drew Holiday against Jalen Brunson. That should be interesting. Dylan Brooks, Rockets at Magic, Cavs at Nets. How will Ben Simmons play? That's the thing. How will Ben Simmons play tonight? I'm intrigued by that. Pistons and Heat. Cade Cunningham hasn't played basically all last season. And no idea, the Heat usually start off slow and then kick some ass later in the season. And Monty Williams, they said, can he do the same thing he did in Phoenix with the Pistons? And they're saying different, but he's got such a younger team. I feel like that's a team that could be really good in a couple of years. I really do. But I guess time will tell. Wolves at Raptors, Anthony Edwards and Scotty Barnes. We'll see how that goes. Thunder at Bulls. Chet Holmgren. Yeah, I want to see Chet. I love Chet Holmgren. I hope he has a great season. Pelicans and Grizzlies there, Bumbles. Zion Williams and Brandon Ingram. Kings at Jazz. I think the Kings is going to be that's a really good offense. Mavs at Spurs. Wemby and Blazers at Clippers. We got that game. Who's big in that one? Well, Scoot Henderson's debut. Kawhi Leonard is healthy to start the season. And Myles Garrett has purchased a minority stake in the Cleveland Cavaliers. He will also serve as an official Cavaliers brand ambassador. I thought that was a classy move on his part. And Harden. Oh, my God. So he was on Dan Patrick, Doc Rivers, and they said, what changed? He was playing perfectly for you guys. He asked about James Harden. He said, I would say not making the All-Star game really bothered him. Yeah, that's where he said it went all wrong. So he's not going to travel the first two games and will aim to play once the team returns from Milwaukee and Toronto, which he doesn't, believe that would be too much of disruption. But don't you want to win games? Who the fuck cares about disruptions? You want to win games, right, guys? Okay, I guess Champ B got all quiet today. But okay, I'm okay with the disruption because now he's, they're paying him a lot of money. And you want to start the season hot. You don't want to lose the first two games. There's a possibility they could lose the first two games. And Barkley questioned Adam Silver about domestic violence incidents that players in the league have been involved with in recent months, which I agree with. I think it's happening in sports way too much. And, you got to look at this stuff. There's a lot of people. It's not good. It's just not good. These are role models. You can say you're not a role model. You're a role model. And, kids see this stuff, and you should never lay your hand on a woman. Never, ever. Yeah. And Wembanyama boasted the third most viewed Wikipedia page of any NBA player over the span of the offseason, sixth most in-demand visiting team for this season per StubHub, based on the highest average price of a ticket sold for teams' cumulative away schedule. San Antonio ranks behind 5 title contenders. Now this threw me. Dwight Howard denied sexual assault and battery allegations filed against him earlier this year and asked the court to dismiss a civil lawsuit he's facing in Georgia. He engaged in a consensual sexual activity with a man named Stephen Harper. I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But I was like, dude, during a July 2021 encounter at Howard's Georgia residence, his lawyers think that this guy Harper is trying to go for a money grab. Yeah, and that he was sexually assaulted and kept against his will, basically. Intentional infliction of emotional distress and false imprisonment. But Harper went to the police a year later. Yeah, why would he go a year later? So Harper's complaint includes screenshots of alleged Instagram exchanges between Harper and Howard from 2021, along with an Uber receipt of Harper's trip to Howard's residence on the night of the encounter. Yeah. This report was made following Mr. Harper being blocked on social media and after the first demand for payment was rejected. In Georgia, the statute of limitations for filing this type of civil suit is 2 years from the date of incident. He last played in the NBA 2021-22 with the Lakers, 8-time All-Star, and 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? Whatever floats your boat, but I just was like, hey, Dwight Howard, dude, you're demon, hey, whatever makes you happy, dude. I say, hey, go for it, man. But I was like, oh, shit. And Kevin Hart, what I see here, Kevin Hart's Gran Caramino Tequila announced Tuesday a multi-year partnership as the official spirit of the Atlanta Hawks and a partner of the State Farm Arena. Do people drink that much fucking tequila? Because I don't drink tequila. Fans can sip signature cocktails featuring the spirit at the venue's Delta Sky 360 Club. They'll also be hosting a contest for a chance to sit in Hart's courtside seats at one of the Hawks' home games. They also inked a multi-year pact with the Eagles as the official luxury tequila of the Eagles. I didn't know tequila was a brand that was like, oh, The Hawks brand, now the Eagles brand. I'm like, I don't drink. Yeah, I don't. And I love this from Teresa Witherspoon. Now she's the new head coach of the Chicago Sky of the WNBA. They don't call me Spoon for nothing. I'm coming here to stir things up. I'm coming here to stir things up. That's what you have to do. Stir them up. Spoon, you stir things up. And the how about Mia Hamm sent superfan Caitlin Clark a message to us signed jersey this week, courtesy of college basketball analyst Debbie Antonelli. She said, "So fun watching you play. Keeping you. Can't wait to watch you change the world." She said, Clark said she was my idol growing up. That's so cool. You got Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers headlined the preseason with Elizabeth Kitley, Cameron Brink, and Mackenzie Holmes. Clark was the committee's only unanimous selection with 36. Reese was followed with 35. All 6 players have already featured on either the first or second team preseason All-American list in their college careers. Caitlin Clark, come on. What a season. They lost the championship game to Angel Reese and LSU. Elizabeth Kitley of Vatech, Cameron Brink of Stanford, Paige Beckers of UConn, and Mackenzie Holmes of Indiana. Kitley and Holmes tied in the voting for the 5th spot, so that's how come they're 6. Clark is now a 3-time preseason All-American. Last year, 28 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. She has one more season of eligibility left after this year. I would say that, you know what, she's going to make so much money in college. Why go pro right now? I mean, she is a god in Iowa. She's 810 points behind Kelsey Plum's NCAA record of 35-27. She's awesome. Reese, the title game, nearly 10 million people tuned in. She led the SEC in scoring 23 points a game, rebounding 15.4, and 34 double-doubles. Paige Beckers had a healthy first time in 2 seasons. She missed all last season with a torn ACL in the left knee. That came after her sophomore year where she, with a lateral meniscus tear and a tibial plateau fracture. Holmes is the first preseason All-American in Indiana history. They won the Big Ten regular season title. She averaged 22, 7 rebounds, 6.5% from the field. And Kitley has been honored as a preseason All-American 2nd consecutive year. She took Vatech, reached the Final Four last season, first time in school history, 18 points, 11 rebounds. She decided to come back instead of going to the WNBA. She's a generational player. Vatech coach Kenny Brooks said, "I can argue she's the best player in school history." Brink averaged 15 points, 10 rebounds, 3.5 blocks for Stanford last year. She's one of 2 players left from Stanford's 2021 title team, and what will be expected of her with the graduation of Haley Jones. Pretty cool. So all 6 players have been honored as AP All-Americans in the spring the past few years. Clark, Reese, and Holmes were on the first team, while Kitley and Brink were on the second. And Beckers was a unanimous first-team selection in her first year. The AP started choosing a preseason All-American team before the 94-95 season. That's pretty cool, man, right? I mean, I love that it's getting the the college game is even, they had great crowds for the WNBA finals, but every game is sold out for Iowa this year. LSU is stacked this year. And Connecticut wants to get back up to the winner's circle. It's been a couple of years since that happened. So it's going to be exciting what happens going forward. Yeah, I'm excited for the season. John Jones was supposed to defend his title against Stipe Miocic, main event UFC 295, November 11th in New York at MSG. But Dana White said Jones tore a pectoral tendon off the bone in training Monday night. He'll need surgery, be out of 8 months. He's hoping to rebook the fight for 2024. So that fight's canceled. And the ex-UFC light heavyweight champion Yuri Prochazka will fight former UFC middleweight title holder Alex Pereira for the vacant UFC light heavyweight crown. And then also on the crowd, Sergey Pavlovich will fight Tom Aspinall for the interim UFC heavyweight title. Pavlovich is the number 2 fighter in the official UFC light heavyweight rankings. Aspinall checks as the number 4 in those rankings. So that's heavyweight. Pavlovich is the number 2 fighter in light heavyweight. Pavlovich, 18-1, won his last 6 fights via first-round knockout. Only loss came in his UFC debut against Alistair Overeem. Knocked him out in the first round. Aspinall, 13-3. He's 6-1 in the UFC with 6 stoppage wins. 5 of those have come in the first round and 1 in the second. His only loss came in a knee injury TKO setback to Curtis Blades. He returned from injury in July of this year and scored a first-round TKO over Marcin Tybura. I saw that fight. Pavlovich comes to UFC 295 following an April 23rd TKO win over Curtis Blades. Yes, that fight I missed, but well, hey, we'll see. And Bud Light, no longer the top-selling beer in the U.S., is returning to the UFC in a record-setting deal for the mixed martial arts giant. They had the thing with the media influencer, transgender, social media. Dylan Mulvaney kind of boycotts. People went crazy because, we can't go, against the norm. The world today, who gives a shit? It's beer. People aren't going to drink beer because Dylan Mulvaney was drinking the beer. They tried something and, kind of people got upset. And that's the world today because, people live inside a box and black and white with everything. And, there's a lot of different colors, like a lot of different flavors of ice cream. And, we should be more accepting. But that's just me. So 10-year, $175 million agreement. UFC signed with crypto. Elevates beyond that. 6-year pact. I don't know how much money it's for, but it seems like it's a lot of shekels. We'll see what happens. And we got NFL tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is Bills, Bucks. Bills Mafia's got to be excited about that. Bills versus Buccaneers tomorrow night in Buffalo. So I have to get a global entry for flying, where Michigan's niece is graduating from the American University in Paris in May or June. So I'm getting global entry. I have an appointment tomorrow at the airport, Newark Airport, at what time? At 10:45 at night. That's what time I have to be there, 10:45. So I got to go there quite late at night. I'm like, Jesus, that is late. But what are you going to do? So McCaffrey is only ahead of Zach Moss rushing and DeAndre Swift. Tyreek Hill has 902 yards, 7 touchdowns on 53 catches. A.J. Brown is 52 for 809, 3 touchdowns. And Puka Nacua, 58, 7, 52, 2 touchdowns, the rookie at a BYU. Diggs and DJ Moore. Well, DJ Moore, what do you have, 231 game? Mostert has 11 touchdowns, McCaffrey 7. Mostert, McCaffrey 11. And Etienne Achan, who is out, has missed the last couple of games for Miami, and Tyreek Hill was 7. And the Giants signed running back Jashawn Corbin to their active roster, signed outside linebacker Justin Hollins to the practice squad. Eric Gray went on the IL, so did tackle Matt Pert on IR. And they claimed running back Deion Jackson played at Duke. He had a couple games. He's only 24, undrafted out of Duke 2021, signed with the Colts. He had some good games. Gray is out with a calf injury, and Matt Pert is dealing with a shoulder injury, so they're going to be out 4 games. And Jackson, 5'11", 216, 94 career carries, 281, 35 catches, 223. Gray muffled his 3rd punt of the season Sunday against Washington. Yeah, running back, 13 for 27, 1 catch for a yard. And they brought Gunnar Olszewski, who did not do well with Pittsburgh, the former Patriot. The likely move this week against the New York Jets would be to elevate him. The catch with Olszewski is ball security, 9 career fumbles, 141 career touches. That's a lot. 1 every 15.7 touches, and likely why he was available. And Hollins is played 4 games only this season with Green Bay. And he's a guy that maybe he could help in the future, but I don't know. We'll see if that's. But yeah, Gray. Yeah, he's not really a punt returner, and they put him in a position he wasn't comfortable in. You got to get a guy that can really return punts. That's a thing. You got to find a guy that's the man. I put Shepard back there, but Shepard muffle the ball last game too. And Sauce Gardner is playing at a Pro Bowl level. Is he? Garrett Wilson, Pro Bowl receiver. Jermaine Johnson, I think he's been playing well. Breece Hall, Pro Bowl level. Joe Douglas and his staff did a great job. Robert Salas said, "Thank you, Harrison Blaze." Yeah, listen, this is a big game. They got to beat the Giants. They got to go. Like I was talking to Aaron, have to beat the Giants. Have to beat the Giants. Must be done. And DJ Moore has an astounding 85.3 WOPR, team target percentage plus team air yards with Bajent 0 under center for the Bears. He's played 1 game. So I love these stats for 1 game. Yes, 1 game. You put this stat up, and I'm like, really? John Legeza put the stat up, and I was like, dude, it's 1 game. What are we? I think we're jumping the gun on this front. I just feel like it's one game. I mean, let's let him play. Let's at least get 3 games down, and we'll see what happens on that front. And Will Levis is going to start over. He's going to start over Malik Willis, who could get some playing time, but the primary quarterback is going to be Will Levis because what's his name? Uh, Ankle injury, Ryan Tannehill. But Will Levis, the rookie out of Kentucky, I'll tell you, Malik Willis has not shown me anything since they drafted him out of Liberty. I feel like he's a mess. So I guess they got to give Will Levis a shot and see what he can do. And basically, everybody in the Titans there's a chance everybody could be traded. Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins. I'd love to see Henry on a really good team. I'd love to see him. There's a lot of teams out there. I mean, Cowboys, Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, Browns. I mean, you got Brees Hall on the Jets, and the Tyjae Spears would get more playing time. Hopkins 27 catches, 376. Kansas City, Buffalo, Cleveland could make sense. But Deshaun Watson, I think PJ Walker is going to play again this week. And I love what Irsay said. NFL admitted officiating mistakes versus Colts and Colts versus Browns. Wants replay for all calls. Every play should be reviewed. And final 2 minutes, yes. Every goddamn piece. That's when the game counts. And Shane Stickens said that I'll just say that you guys know the answer probably to that, and we got to move on. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah, but I definitely agree. Every replay for all calls, final 2 minutes. And Chase Winovich, Michigan sent me this. Injury-plagued career, 20 years old, retiring. I was like, okay, cool, man. Former Michigan product, third-round selection, 2019. Injured a lot. Yeah, I was like, okay, best of luck in retirement. I did all this, and I was like, cool. All right. Yeah. She sent it to me. I know it's a Michigan person, but he really didn't perform anything. And Brad Spielberger, listen to this. Kirk Cousins recorded 3 games with 350-plus passing yards through week 7. So recorded 3 games with 350-plus passing yards. No other quarterback has more than one such game. No. And Tua was the one, right? That's pretty impressive. Red zone this year, fewest trips to the red zone through week 7. Steelers 10, Pittsburgh 13, Browns 14, Patriots 15, Buccaneers 16, Panthers 6. Most of those teams are having very shitty seasons. Well, Bengals are 3-3, and the Browns are over 500. Pats, 2-5? Buccaneers 3 what is the Bucs record? Bucs are 3-3. All right, yeah. And the Browns, yeah, I mean, most teams aren't playing well. Hunter Renfrow are working toward find a trade to another team. Yeah, that has not worked out for them. And Dan Orlovsky thinks they're wasting Devontae Adams' talent. I don't disagree with that. If Brian Hoyer plays again this week, you're definitely wasting him. So we can see maybe he'll go somewhere else. But I've been hearing this for a while. We'll see what happens. Zach Ertz on IR, so that means Trey McBride, the former Mackey Award winner tight end from Colorado State, will get a larger role. I thought he was going to blow up this year. 15 catches for $170. Yeah, I mean, and Ertz 27 for $187. But I kept waiting for not great quarterbacks. And George Pickens on pace for 1,416 yards, and he's my flex guy in fantasy. So I'd like to see that. Yes, he's averaging 4.5 catches, 83.3 yards, which were over 17 games, 77 for 1,416. Yes. He averaged 2 yards after a catch as a rookie to 6.3 after a catch. This year, 9th best in the NFL. He'll take on a Jaguars D this week that is yielding the 2nd most passing yards. Yes, let's get some points. And Devon Witherspoon, the first-round draft pick out of Illinois for the Seahawks, PFF's top-graded cornerback. He's been great. Well, so was Sauce last year. He's allowed 14 completions, 48%, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks, an interception, pick 6, 5 pass breakups. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, 4 catches, 63 yards, and his first career touchdown last week against the Cardinals. And defensive end Montez Sweat for Washington. There's been one trade offer. One team's been offer him, and nothing for Chase Young. These are guys. Thank you, Nikki Jabvala, for that one. But I feel like you're still in the hunt, man. When you're 3-4, I think you don't get rid of guys that are having a good season. I think you keep these guys around. And quarterbacks have been sacked on 7.1% of dropbacks, the highest rate through week 7 since 2000. Yeah. They said points on points per drive on drives with a sack, 0.97. Without a sack, 2.11. Scoring percentage on drives with a sack, 23.4. Without a sack, 39.6. And Brett Maher is done. So they are bringing in Lucas Havrisik, who was signed off the Browns practice squad. They also worked out Mason Crosby, the former Packers kicker. So Maher, 17, 23, 12, 13 PATs. And he was in a three-way tie with field goals made with Jamie Fairburn of Houston and Philadelphia's Jake Elliott. But his conversion rate of 73.9 ranked last among the trio. And Havrisik has spent time with the Browns and the Colts, but the 24-year-old has never appeared in an NFL game. I feel like you're in a part of season where you kind of want guys that are, a little more seasoned, and you hope he can come. But I mean, now every game counts. I mean, every game counts every week, but any given Sunday. But geez. And Marvin Jones stepped away for personal reasons, and the Lions released him, 33 years old. Did not travel with the Lions for week 7, undisclosed personal reasons. And I don't know what happened there, but a 5th-round pick of the Bengals, 2012, 4 years in Cincinnati for getting a $40 million deal with the Lions in 2016. 2017, 61 catches, 1,101 yards, 9 touchdowns. Remained through 2020. He spent 2 years with the Jags, signed a 1-year, $3 million deal in April. 5 catches, 35 yards, 10 targets, and he's done. And this was, there's a lot of, personal reasons, and he really wasn't playing. You hear a guy like him gets dropped, and you're like, kind of makes sense. I mean, he's really not getting the job done, so it's time to move on. And Kyle Van Noy said he was in the middle of a civil war during his time with Miami via Punchline Pod 44. There was a power struggle between Tua and then coach Brian Flores and GM Chris Grier. Kyle said, I believe I was just in the middle of a civil war between the GM and head coach. And Dov Kleiman said during the 2021 season, Brian Flores told starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa that the team should have taken Mac Jones in the draft, according to Mike Lombardi. Yeah, Mac Jones. And you know what? Tua gets no respect. He's like the Rodney Dangerfield of football. I mean, I know I got into a thing with Bumbles about this, but listen, I don't think he's that bad a quarterback. I think he has, this season he's been healthy, knock on wood. And they haven't beat a lot of, they've lost to some the better teams this season, but he's had some phenomenal games, and they put up 70 against Denver. I know it's Denver, but still, I feel like he's got, and I think McDaniels, is in his corner, and I think, it's the first, they're working things out. They're working things out right now. And, last year we had to deal with what he had, 4 quarterbacks play last year, and Skylar Thompson played the playoff game last year. So, I guess we're going to see what happens going forward, but damn, I guess, time will tell, right? Yeah. Crazy, right? And Georgia head coach Kirby Smart was asked about Michigan stealing signs. He said, there's nothing I remember about the Michigan game that makes me think of that. They also beat their asses. And he said he's never heard of teams sending coaches to other games to steal signs. I was never asked to do that as a young coach. As far as in a game, I think people try to do that. It tries to go on. But as Prime said, okay, now you know what to do, but can you stop them? And that's not always the case. He also asked if the review system in college football needs to change. He says reviewed from the booth, while NFL coaches have to initiate a challenge. You definitely speed the game up, not to review, but you've had a lot of controversy after the game. And now Connor Stallions, a text conversation to start boasting about his connections to the Michigan football team. Both his parents went to Michigan. He could have went to Michigan, but he went to the Naval Academy. He said, I'm close with the whole staff, particularly with linebacker coach Chris Partridge and running back and assistant special team coach Jay Harbaugh, the son of Jim. Pre-COVID stole opponent signals during the week, watching TV copies that flew to the game, and stood next to then offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis and told him what coverage pressure he was getting. Stallions continued. Stole opponent signals during the week, watching TV copies. Those texts are part of a lengthy back and forth in January and February 2021 between Stallions and a then student at a Power 5 school who was looking to break into the college football industry. That's good. So I guess this guy really wants to keep working. That he's putting this out there because people love snitches. Snitches get stitches. He was deciphering opponent signals off of TV footage and is not against NCAA rules. In the last week, though, he's become a household name across college football. Right. Reports that he orchestrated an elaborate scheme to place unnamed associates of his in stadiums of Michigan opponents to scout, and in some cases, film opposing coaches' signals, both acts very much against the rules. The former Power 5 students shared the full text conversation with Sport Illustrated, which, again, verifying the message's origin by removing Stallion's name in his context to reveal a phone number. The number was leaked to Stallion's name on the public database white pages. So they tried to reach out the number, nothing happened. Michigan said they can't answer this. Jim Harbaugh also denied any knowledge of any plan to legally steal signals. But if he's talking to his son, how does it not get back to his son, to Jim Harbaugh? I find that. Gaddis is now Maryland's offensive coordinator. He declined to make himself available. Yeah, there's been several pictures of Stallion's claims about inflation with Michigan coaches. He's standing in prominent positions on the Wolverine sidelines. Review of Stallion's now deleted Venmo account did show that Jay Harbaugh sent Stallion money in 2017 with the OK hand gesture emoji in the memo line, but no purpose or amount for the transfer was indicated. Really, I mean, he's officially joined the staff in spring of 2022. He said he served as a Marine from 17 to 22, starting in 2015. Also helped Michigan football as a volunteer assistant. He wanted to get a future career. That was the position he apparently held during the text exchange. He said, any idea you could ever have, there's a place where it belongs in the document. It's super organized. He said, I think it's pretty rare to find the right type of people who can grasp a vision of the future and want to team up and run shit. He said, there's a future Ohio State coaching staff out there somewhere preparing for it, whether they know it or not. And we have a group of a half dozen actively planning shit 15 or so years out, another dozen or two on board. So by the time it's ready to rock, we're all on the same page and we quickly make Michigan the ultimate standard. So he graduated from Naval Academy 2015. He was a student assistant with the football team. Curiously, this includes an overlap at the time his LinkedIn reportedly says he volunteered with Michigan. So he took this Power 5 student for about 3 weeks. He obtained a decade's worth of high school national standardized test scores and GPAs for approximately 500 midshipmen football players, data that he should not have been allowed to possess. He simply went to the Naval Academy admissions office and name-dropped Coach Ken Niumatalolo. While he said the admissions office told him to delete the data the following day, he was coy of whether he had and made clear that he used the data to inform his recruiting philosophy. The Naval Academy didn't confirm or deny that they gave that stuff to Stallions. Yeah. Stallion's pet theory was that athletes with lower SAT or ACT scores but higher GPAs would be strong performers in the field because while test scores indicate intelligence, GPAs give you work ethic. Those students essentially were outworking their natural abilities. However, whatever this theory was, he claimed he had presented to other coaches with the Privacy Act. He told the students that the data led him to conclude there's a direct relationship among test scores, GPAs, and the work habits of athletes. Interesting. He said one was a long-term, the Michigan Manifesto. The other was short-term, creating what he called products, apparently meaning pieces of analysis or insight that coaches would find useful. So he was thinking all this stuff, man. And sources close to the football program describe Stallion's as obsessed with Michigan to an excessive degree. He did attend Michigan games while midshipmen weren't playing at home in Annapolis. 2014, he was in his midshipman dress uniform with former Wolverines defensive end Frank Clark. And he claimed he assisted then Navy Director of Player Personnel Sean McGee, defensive line coach Sean Nua. McGee is now chief of staff of the Bears, while Nua is the defensive line coach at USC. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. He goes, I've grown up my entire life with a vision to coach football at Michigan. He said he chose Naval Academy because famous coaches from Bo Schembechler to Bill Belichick had either served in the military or had strong connections to the academies. He was stationed at Camp Pendleton in California during his Marine service. He claimed he would drive to Tucson to help former Michigan offensive coordinator Jed Fish as he transitioned to his new Wildcats coaching job. Said he did odd jobs for Fish at times in Ann Arbor, but he called him also. He said the Michigan linebacker coach Partridge was one of his closest friend. He said that's what gave him the initial inroads to Michigan, allowing him to help out at the school while he was on spring break from the Naval Academy, which couldn't have been too long. Said he went to Fish's house in California while he was working as an offensive assistant for the Rams to help organize his coaching materials. And he claims that he essentially, when he went to Arizona, Fish got the job. He was an assistant to Fish's chief of staff with a hand in Wildcats roster management. And the spokesperson for Arizona denied most of his claims, saying Fish had never been aware nor directed any efforts to steal signs, nor had he benefited them either at Michigan or in Arizona. And Arizona hasn't been that good to even say that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, thank you, Richard Johnson, for all this. But sounds like he's like this guy is a whole little stallions, this whole thing going on in his head, and I don't know, man. It just sounds kind of crazy. And Army, Navy will continue to play America's game, but Army next year will be in the American Athletic Conference. They could face off consecutive weeks, but the Army Navy game will still be a non-conference game, which I guess is good there. We'll see what happens. And Liberty 8-0. Jamie Chadwell, last 4 years, 39-6. Coastal Carolina, and now at Liberty. Their first year in Conference USA, they clinched at least an appearance in the conference title game, certainly in line to host. And Brian Kelly said, I'm beating Alabama last year. Seems like an ancient memory. For us to get into the ranks of Georgia and Alabama, you've got to be able to do this thing consistently. Mike Roddick, I agree. And James Madison, this is from Kelly Ford. He is the Kelly Ford ratings. James Madison leads the country in net one possession wins. They have 4 more wins than losses in games decided by one possession or an OT. And Arkansas is at the bottom of that barrel. And first to lose, they think Sooners travel to Kansas this week, which came off a tough loss to Oklahoma State. Air Force goes to Colorado State, which set 3-4 with 2 one-score losses. They played a tough game against Colorado. Last to lose, Michigan, Ohio State. Florida State looks favorable to the ACC title game. Pac-12 has plenty of tests waiting for Washington, and Georgia has to play without Brock Bowers. But they think Michigan is the one that's going to go the furthest. And Caleb Williams versus Drake May for quarterback 1. I don't know, man. I think they're still the best, but I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to be, they think that Caleb Williams is the real deal. They think he's that good. And Drake May cut from the same cloth as Justin Herbert. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Jaden McCarthy right now is the 3rd. Jaden Daniels is moving up. Oregon State's I guess we're going to see what happens there. Yeah, and they say Tylese Fuaga, Oregon State's on the offensive line, and West Virginia's Zake Frazier are making strides to move from the first round in on the offensive line. NHL, the Frozen Frenzy. Statboy Steven, I don't disagree with you that maybe the next one should be on a Saturday, start the games at noon, get rid of commercial breaks. I don't disagree. I thought it was interesting to watch, but it was a lot. It's not like red zone for football. We were talking about Michigan and I last night. For football, we know in the red zone, at any point, a team can score. So, you can't happen. And Jason Robertson is moving up. Most goals before age 25. Brian Bellows with 222. And right now, Robertson's at 105. So he can move with the list, but there's a lot of guys to do that. Max Verstappen is USC quarterback. You think, Josh, he's I didn't think you disappeared. I didn't think you were here. He said, yeah. I don't think he's I think he throws a nice ball, man. I just don't think the team's that great. So, I mean, I guess we're going to see going forward. But, yeah, Max Verstappen, 50 wins, moving on. Pride tape, thank God that they said, who gives a shit? And the Golden Knights went 3-2. They're 7-0. And they won 3-2 over the Flyers. And Boston beat Blackhawks 3-0. They're 6-0. First 6-0 start since 37-38 for the Bruins. Wow. And Colorado beat the Islanders 7-4. The Rangers won 3-1. Lafreniere scored a goal yesterday. Congrats to him and Kreider. Lafreniere got his third, and Kreider got his fifth on both on power play. And Wild beat the Oilers at 1-4-1. Team USA women's gymnastics won both the team and all-around gymnastics competition at the Pan Am Games this week. Kayla DiCello, who was an alternate in the World Championship team, earned the U.S.'s first all-around gold at the events in 2011. And silver medalist Tokyo, Jordan Childs won bronze in the all-around competition. They want to compete 2024 in Paris. Becky Sauerbrunn, she is making a comeback, missed out of the World Cup due to injury. Megan Rapinoe, Julie Ertz retired. She said, don't call it a comeback. I would say that my role in the team is the same that it's been for 13 years. I'm competing for a spot on the roster, and then I'm competing for minutes on the field. I got a new coach, some friendlies coming up. Okay. And LeBron and Peyton teaming up with the Obamas on a Netflix Hoops docuseries. Similar to NFL's Quarterback, through LeBron's production company, Spring Hill Entertainment is working with Manning's Omaha Productions, the Obama's Higher Ground Productions, and the NBA and the program. It's unclear what athletes will be featured on the unscripted project or when it is slated to begin filming, but that all is happening soon. That sounds kind of cool. I'm okay with the Obamas being involved. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all right. Purdy and concussion protocol. That means if he's out, that means if he's injured, oh my God, that means using concussion protocol. What does that mean? That means what's his name could be the starting quarterback, right? Concussions against the if not Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold. Wow, that'd be kind of crazy. Sam Darnold starting. Wow. Purdy and concussion. Katie pushed for the Bradley Beal trade. Good for you. Good for you. Knox with the wrist. Well, I didn't think he was going to play. Oh, Georgia got their highest recruit in basketball. I always like seeing stuff like this. I think that's kind of cool. So Georgia basketball got five-star recruit Asa Newell is Bulldogs' third highest ranked recruit ever. Good for you. NBA All-Star Game will return to the classic form of traditional scoring system. Oh, so it's going to just be, that's all it's going to be. So the All-Star Game will no longer be an untimed fourth quarter or conclude when one team reaches or surpasses. The teams will continue to compete to win each quarter for a charitable organization of their choosing. NBA All-Star Game team captain will be named to lead their respective teams. The captain will be the All-Star starter from each conference who receives the most fan votes. This conference during NBA All-Star voting will be air on TNT and reach. Indianapolis will host NBA All-Star for the first time since 1985. All right. Let's go back to traditional. All right. Good luck with that. All right. Let me see. Did I miss it? Oh, wait. I did have some other stuff. Oh, so I had some cool. Yeah. What did I see here? Yeah. Craig Breslow returning to Sox. Hurricanes Brett Pesci out long-term with lower body injury. Good for you. Why not good for you? That sucks. Clark expected to sign with the Seahawks. I think he could sign with the Chief. Pittman on post lost barbs. I'm not a good loser. Well, who is? Kelly on lack of headset communications. It's silly. I agree. Walker will start. Harden, Brewers Council to interview with the Mets. Should have been us. Safeco Field. Corbin Carroll as a child at a Mariners game at Safeco Field from his family photo. It's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. I thought that was cool. And oh yeah, and look at this in Dubai. Didi Gregorius in Dubai. And I said they must. I told Lanka they must have offered him a ton of money. I had to offer him a ton of money. Yeah. So look at this hockey. You got Rangers 4-2, Devils 3-1-1, Philly 3-2-1, Boston 6-0, Colorado 6-0, and Vegas is 7-0. I mean, that's damn playing some good hockey, man. Good hockey. That's some good old hockey right there. Yeah, I was like, damn, playing some good hockey. Anaheim won 3-2. Oh, I just want to see if Zegras did not score a goal. And FIU's retro helmet decals repping Sunblazers for tonight versus Jacksonville State. Yeah, they're all right looking. I mean, they're they look like, like a Power Five school should have. I mean, it's nothing. Yeah, it's all right. They're kind of cool. And Julia Dorsey, an athlete for UNC women's lacrosse and soccer teams, aims to win 23rd national title from the sidelines. Dual sport athlete. I mentors UNC hockey. I reach out to her. I want to get her on a future show. I don't know if it'll happen, but I did reach out to her. I said, hey, let's. And then they had this funny thing about if they weren't NFL head coaches, and Peterson would be retired jacuzzi salesman, has a boat, and hates his son, regular at Belichick's BDSM. What the hell does that mean? What does BDSM mean? BDSM, isn't that some bondage shit? BDSM. What the hell does that mean? Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, it's kind of creepy, dude. I read some of these things like that. I was like, it's too many to read, and now I don't think it's as funny as I thought it was. Yeah, they have all the head would be doing if they were. This is from NFL memes. Oh, let's see what Robert Sala would be. Oh, uh, the Zion Williamson's dad. That's the Bucks coach. Nicolas Cage would be Arthur Miller. Local priest attends every U under 12 boys CYO basketball practice. Is that Gannon? Mechanic Frank Reich is a mechanic who uses a cell phone holster, loves craft beer, works with Joe, Sal, and Brian on Impractical Jokers. McVeigh, male nurse who talks way too much about CrossFit. Pete Carroll has appeared in multiple Cialis commercials. And Jenny and Dodge Challenger driver dates a bottle. You see, that makes sense. So that's what else did I see here? Mike Tomlin is neurologist on House. Oh, and I don't know who this is. Bad guy number 3 in a James Bond movie. I don't know who that coach is. The Bengals coach, camp counselor, director at Ohio Summer Camp. Demeco Ryan, high school football coach who TikToks his pregame speeches. Titans coach, high school PE teacher who hates everybody who doesn't play football. Harbaugh's brother, Steele Signals as head football coach at Michigan. That's funny. And Best Buy home installation specialist. I think that's Shane Stecken. Yeah. They were kind of funny. They weren't as funny as I thought they were, but some of them were funny. I mean, some of them were all right. And then this is from Lindsey Jones, a fan put up like a Halloween thing, and it's a skeleton watching the Dolphins beat the Broncos. It says Broncos watch party, and there's headstones, defense, LOL, 165 million guaranteed, playoff hopes, all like gone. So I guess it's a Broncos fan, which I thought was hilarious. And the new Clipper. Oh, and Joe DiMaggio giving Reggie Jackson an extra helping of lasagna in the post-game meal, and they were both with the A's, baseball and picks. How about that? Lasagna from Joe D to Reggie Jackson. And the new stadium, the Clippers 1.2 arena, the Intuit Dome will have a 360-degree video board powered every seat. Every seat will have power and views of the 360-degree acre-long video board. The wall will be a 51-row dedicated fan section. They already have taking deposits for the most luxury suites, bungalows, and courtside cabanas. And that's out of control, right? I mean, it's just crazy. Crazy. That's crazy talk, right? All right, did I miss anything else? No, I think I'm good. I'm good. All right. Trivia questions. Last show's trivia question was trying to get to the okay. Last FBS team to average less than 300 yards per game and win 10 games within a single season. The 2006 Virginia Tech football team, 295 yards per game, 10-3 record, lost to Chick-fil-A Bowl to Georgia, 31-24. And today, show 1400. Thank you for reminding me there, Josh. Okay, Kettle Marte, 19 hits this postseason, tied what player for the most hits in franchise history postseason? So he has 19 postseason hits, 16 games in a row to start his postseason career. Who did he tie in Arizona Diamondbacks history for the most hits in postseason history in a season, in one season? Most in franchise history. In single postseason, most hits. Who did Kettle Marte tie? So, Champy, if you know that, please fill me in. Champy, Josh, Aaron, Bumbles, thank you all. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kramer, today. Great stuff. Bumbles, as I said, some of the Michigan, my mom, Mrs. S, Carol and Carol, Danny, I saw the other day. Let's get some more people on. All right. I'm reaching. If you know anybody, and rest in peace, Richard Roundtree. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. All right. Love you all. Peace out.